Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, the man most responsible for downtown redevelopment's success in northern Nevada.
Hi, I'm Ray Hagar with the Reno Gazette-Journal. And today's guest is former Reno Mayor Jeff Griffin. Now, you have to give a lot of credit to current Mayor Bob Cashell for the rejuvenation of downtown, but you also have to give props to Mr. Griffin.
And coming up on the Power Pundit panel today, Dick Gammick, Marlene Lockard, and Fred Lokken. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Corporations moving to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center require reliable power, fiber optic communication, and clean water sources. And yet, there's another amenity we're very proud of here at TRI, rail service. So far, we've built over 2 miles of railroad track, and another 3.6 is under construction. When companies need to transport freight, we're going to help them move it quickly and efficiently. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
The resort at Red Hawk offers you 2 great dining choices. Experience David's Grill and Sports Bar or the Steakhouse at Red Hawk. The Steakhouse has received the Wine Spectator Award of Excellence based on a diverse selection of fine wines. To accompany the wines, the Steakhouse serves certified Angus beef steaks in a variety of cuts, fresh fish, chicken, and pasta dishes. For fun and casual dining, come to David's Grill and Sports Bar. David's is open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The resort at Red Hawk. Always the right choice.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
My family started this business 27 years ago.
We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof.
Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, in the days prior to Bob Cashell being mayor of Reno, Jeff Griffin was mayor for 8 years. Pleasure to have you on the program. I must disclose to the audience that we are friends, and I was a huge supporter of yours while you were in office.
Thanks.
You fought some incredible battles in Reno, especially over the downtown. And I have to say, and I've said this to you privately, and I'll say it to you publicly, you were right. You know, the Mapes, which nobody could figure out how to fix and make it a viable property, you oversaw taking it down. Now it's a plaza that's going to be a permanent ice rink and an amphitheater. You've got the movie theater complex built on the river. First time that something was actually facing the river. That, over the years, has now become a huge success. The Whitewater Park is bringing locals down to the river in droves. How hard... Oh, and the biggest thing of all, the railroad trench, which was such a contentious issue, to bury the train tracks in the middle of town, that still continue to this day, but not for very much longer, continue to block me when I'm trying to get to lunch or to a meeting. There was a lot of vocal action against you at the time, but just a week or so ago, 2,500 people, locals, went down to actually ride in the trench to take a look at it. Tell me about the battle. How tough was it? Who helped? Who hindered?
Well, it's interesting, and thanks for the compliments, but it was a team effort, as corny as that might sound. You know, people really focus on the mayor, and Mayor Cashell's doing a great job, and they're focused on him. But you really do need at least 3 other people to agree with you, and the great staff at the City of Reno has to agree with you as well. When I ran the first time in 1995, I had said I thought the city was adrift, and if you voted for me, I was going to move the city forward. And one of the focuses, amongst the 4 or 5 things that I focused on, was the downtown. It was the very heart of our community, and it was, in fact, dying, if not already dead. So we did focus a lot of attention, both financial as well as in a marketing sense, to get people to come back downtown. The Mapes was an acquisition by the city. It was not condemned. We bought it through a realtor. Same thing with the Riverside. We bought those properties, and while we argued about the price, there was never any argument about whether or not it was appropriate for the city to buy them. And those were really the 2 cornerstones for the downtown to be redeveloped. When the Mapes was being looked at in an engineering and marketing sense by people who do this in the private sector, there was no future for the Mapes. Interestingly enough, there was a future for the Riverside because of its construction and its functionality, how it could be used. So we decided that the Mapes had to come down. I took the criticism for it, but and we worked hard, long and hard. Richard Moe with the National Trust for Historic Preservation came out. We did everything we possibly could, but the building had to come down. One of the visions I had when it was down, and there was a little bit of an argument about that was behind the scenes, was I always felt it should be a plaza. I always felt it should be a community gathering place. Other people felt we should put something there that would generate some revenue. But they worked through that and decided to come full circle and create a gathering place. The other thing was, of course, the movie theaters, and people are very vocal in their opinion about the economics and the marketability of something. I just thought it was a great building, a great addition to a pretty tawdry downtown, and it in fact really signaled the beginning of the Renaissance in terms of new construction or rehabilitation of buildings along the downtown. The railroad project, no city in America, certainly not one as vibrant and as attractive, growing as a city like Reno, is going to have a major transcontinental railroad bisected, particularly right in the heart of its downtown. When the Union Pacific acquired the Southern Pacific, I looked at it as an opportunity, and many city councils, as they were variously formulated over the years, agreed with that, and lots of people helped, but mostly city councils, Councilman Pierre Hasjeff and Dave Azzi and Tom Herndon, and lots of folks helped along the way with their vote, and eventually it came to reality. And the interesting thing is, it seems to me now, in looking at the current state of affairs, many of these battles are non-issues today. I had a great, interesting experience with Corey Farley, who some people may remember was somewhat critical of some of the things we were doing downtown, and particularly the movie theater and so forth. And I had an occasion to be at Dreamers, the coffee shop there at the Riverside, and was sitting there and having a cup of coffee, and my wife Marna came in and said, "Corey Farley's outside, he'd like to talk to you." And I had always tried to be polite to everybody, and I certainly was polite to Corey, and went to him and said, "What's up?" And he looked at me and he said, "I owe you an apology." And I said, "Really? About what?" And he said, "You were right." And then, typical Corey, said, "Well, 75% right."
We'll take a break. We're right back on Nevada Newsmakers with former Mayor of Reno, Jeff Griffin.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
Since its creation more than a decade ago, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has focused on 3 goals: preserving water quality, improving water conservation in Southern Nevada, and meeting the community's current and future water needs. Through thoughtful planning, responsible management, and collaboration, it's succeeding. As we move into the 21st century, the authority continues to embrace sustainable water development and efficient water use. That's our promise to Nevada.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seemed to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? They do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you. Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Pepper Mill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Pepper Mill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you dining?
Many of the materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us cleaner and safer than ever before. To learn more about America's natural resources, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we're talking with former Reno Mayor Jeff Griffin. And I think there are a lot of lessons to be learned for both Northern and Southern Nevada from the Northern Nevada story. We're seeing a lot of projects now in the downtown area, just as we are in Las Vegas, of condominium conversions. And it's quite remarkable to me how fast these are being snapped up. But I guess part of it is that it's in some ways affordable housing, considering that in both markets housing is way out of line. But the news that the Golden Phoenix, which is a 600-room property that's in downtown Reno, is now also going to be converted into condominiums and townhouses. What is your thought on this remarkable turnaround?
Well, it's interesting, you know, when you can make some place attractive, and there are a tremendous number of people in America and around the world who love to live in urban environments. And one of the challenges for downtown Reno and for downtown Las Vegas, Mayor Goodman, Oscar and I are good friends, and he's done a great job as well. You really first have to start with the basics. If you make it a clean, safe place that people want to be, then they'll want to live there. And that's exactly, I think, an explanation, certainly in downtown Reno. From what I understand, though, it's not exactly affordable housing, although in my 8 years in office, we did do quite a bit of housing.
I guess that's a term I'm using that has an official connotation and a real life connotation.
Yes.
And the real life connotation is if it's under $400,000 or $500,000, it's getting into the margin of.
It's amazing what entry level housing is nowadays.
Yeah.
$250,000 is what it is. But I think that you just start with the fundamentals and making it a clean, safe, attractive place for people to be. The Lieutenant Governor Lorraine Hunt and I worked 5 years ago in the beginnings of the Whitewater Park, and people thought, well, that's not going to be much of an attraction and appeal.
It's been huge.
Oh, it's amazing. And you start with when we created TMWA, the Truckee Mudders Water Authority. There was money that came from them to help do this, and from the state and from the city. It's a home run for downtown. And that, I think, is just perhaps one of the last elements that people who are interested in being an urban dweller look at and say, I'd live right there. This would be a great place to live in. I think that really explains it. Plus, we have a tremendous amount of infrastructure already in existence. Gaming in Northern Nevada is undergoing fundamental, profound change. It is shrinking in some respects, but becoming more refined and more specific. There's a realization on the part of the gaming industry, particularly in downtown, that gaming is an attraction. It is not the attraction.
Right.
And that's really helped them. And I think when they see things like the Whitewater Park, and when they see people who want to live downtown, the remaining casinos that have regularly and continue to invest in themselves and reinvent themselves are doing quite well right now.
I wanted to head into the three major projects that I think are going to affect Northern Nevada in a very positive way that I don't even think Northern Nevada is fully aware of. One is the Cabela's project out in Verdi, which is near Boomtown, which is reputed to bring perhaps as many as 4 million visitors per year to that project for up to a 2-night stay, which is the average visit to a Cabela's. The current visitation for Reno is 5 million people. Then the Reno Hilton being converted into the world's largest indoor water park. And last but not least, Stations Casino building a Green Valley Ranch type property in South Reno, as well as having purchased land near the convention center. Would you address your thoughts on those three projects?
Well, I think they're all reflections really about the fact that Northern Nevada, Reno, Sparks, Washoe County is a great place to live, a great place to do business. I think we successfully, all of the public figures in the community at large, have really created a good place to live and a good place to do business. I remember 10, 15 years years ago when the thought of stations actually doing anything in northern Nevada was unheard of, and Cabela's came and fell out of the sky almost, and I think it's really a reflection on the fact that this is just a marvelous community that has its attractions. Cabela's is a great example of matching up what we have already in existence in our inventory in terms of attracting tourists with the kinds of attractions that Cabela's brings. I think the Stations Casino is a reflection of the fact that we've arrived at a certain level of population that a company like Stations likes to be involved in as a community. And I think certainly the Hilton is a reflection also of the fact that there's a tremendous infrastructure in place at that property that if you rehabilitate it or remodel it in such a way that it will reflect the kinds of appeals that people have today in the year 2005.
And I think all three of those projects are going to drive tourism to the area, and I think that it's going to result in the downtown being forced to build more rooms, not cut back. Let us end on this. What's left to be done from your vision?
Well, I think that one of the things that's going to be happening in terms of not just tourism and not just downtown, property values, everybody knows that real estate is much more expensive. I think one of the things that's going to be happening here in the next 5 years or so is the, if you will, the recycling of the industrial land in the Truckee Meadows. We're too expensive a location now to have a 1 million square foot big box warehouse that employs 200 people. The real estate is too valuable. I think east of the community, particularly out in Fernley and the industrial parks that are going up out there, those big boxes that exist now in the Truckee Meadows are going to be going out of the valley and out there where there's rail service and so forth. And I think you're going to see us recycle the industrial land into higher uses, more manufacturing, more value-added kinds of things, so that we're going to see a greater employment actually in the Truckee Meadows for the same square footage of industrial land. I think that's going to be a really important thing. With that is higher employment, with that is more traffic, and with that is the need to really put the infrastructure in place that's going to allow us to get from one end of our community to the other in 15 minutes like we've been able to do since I've been here.
Okay, so you raised the issue, so I've got to bring it up now. Tahoe Pyramid Link, will the Washoe County Commission never have the guts to get that thing through?
I don't know. It wouldn't be appropriate for me to say, but I will say this. It's absolutely essential. It is absolutely essential.
Jeff Griffin, always a pleasure. You're welcome back anytime, my friend.
Thank you, Sam.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center. Just 10 minutes east of Sparks. We're proud that Walmart and other Fortune 500 companies have chosen Tahoe Reno Industrial Center to relocate their businesses. We have sites from under 5 acres to well over 500 acres, and with all of the amenities that every successful corporation requires. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, and we're building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
The Nevada Beer Wholesalers encourages the responsible consumption of beer. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association are sponsors and participants in many community-based efforts such as school education programs, safe ride home, recycling programs, alcohol-free after-prom and graduation parties, safe voting campaigns, and designated driver programs. They are family-owned businesses employing 2,000 Nevadans. They also collect and pay the state excise tax. The Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association, delivering more than just beer.
Northern Nevada is on a roll, attaining top national rankings as a great place to live and do business. How does the region stay on top? The 21st Annual Governor's Industry Appreciation Awards will feature Joel Kotkin, the internationally recognized author who wrote Inc. magazine's story named Reno the best place to do business in America in 2005. Join us November 8th at the Reno Hilton. For tickets, visit www.edon.org or call 829-3700.
The Resort at Red Hawk offers you 2 great dining choices. Experience David's Grill and Sports Bar or the Steakhouse at Red Hawk. The Steakhouse has received the Wine Spectator Award of Excellence based on a diverse selection of fine wines. To accompany the wines, the Steakhouse serves certified Angus beef steaks in a variety of cuts, fresh fish, chicken, and pasta dishes. For fun and casual dining, come to David's Grill and Sports Bar. David's is open 7 days a week, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Resort at Red Hawk. Always the right choice.
You are watching Nevada Newsmakers.
Hi, I'm Ray Hagar with the Reno Gazette-Journal. Welcome to our pundit panel today. Today we got an A-list pundit panel. First, Dick Gammick, Washoe County DA, Fred Lokken, political science professor at Western Truckee Meadows Community College, Marlene Lockard with the Dean of Titus for Governor campaign, and Larry Matheis with the Nevada State Medical Association. Welcome to you all. What I wanted to talk about first is the gubernatorial race. The other day we had Henderson Mayor Jim Gibson on the program, and compared to the other candidates, does anybody think that this guy is just maybe a little bit boring? Fred, let me open it up with you.
Well, I think that describes most of our modern-day politicians. They aren't effective communicators. What you do have in Gibson, though, is a very popular local mayor in the city of Henderson, and I think that what he'll maintain is that he'll bring forward the issues that voters will identify with. Just have less camera time.
Well, you know, the other candidates, they seem so glib, and this Mr. Gibson, he doesn't even smile. Marlene, you're...
I think this campaign is going to be won through a discussion on the issues, but I don't think you could ever call Dina Titus boring. She is passionate. She's passionate about the state, and she's passionate about this campaign for governor, and she's working very hard. But I think there will be a discussion on the issues.
Okay. Dick, are you...
Well, I don't think he can beat Dina Titus in the primary for the Democratic nomination. I don't think it's going to happen. He's not well known throughout the state. He's well known in Henderson, but the rest of the state doesn't know him at all.
Well, Henderson's the second largest city in the state now. He's very popular with the LDS community. You know, I think we'll see if his style works. We'll see if Dina's style works over time. We'll see if Jim Gibbons' style works. I mean, races right now are just beginning. They're not gelled. They're just in the formative stage. And part of what every campaign is about defining your candidate and defining the difference between your candidate and the other candidates. And there is about glibness.
There is a clear difference between the two candidates. And just last week, a day after Mayor Gibson announced, he declared that he would support Nevada law to overturn Roe v. Wade if it were overturned at the national level. And I think it's issues such as that show a very clear difference and show that he's out of step with the mainstream Nevadans on that issue, and we will show many more issues.
And this is the oldest thing that's in American politics. John Adams wrote about the first cabinet, and that in it there were draft horses, and he was talking about himself as vice president, and there were show horses, and he was talking about Hamilton and Jefferson. We've always had this tension. Who do we... Harry Truman was not as glib, as charismatic as Franklin Roosevelt.
Larry, I hope you're not implying that Dina's just a show horse.
No,
I think you've worked with her enough in the legislature to know she's been called the smartest legislator in Carson City.
Well, she is a substantive legislator, and will be a substantive campaigner, and I think that Mayor Gibson will also be a substantive campaigner.
But in the sense that can a Democrat win in the state of Nevada in 2006? In essence, Gibson may be suggesting that the Democratic candidate needs to move to the center, or maybe a little right of center, to appeal to crossover Republican voters. Because although the registrations are pretty much even, Republicans vote and Democrats don't, and so you can have all the great substance you want, but you do have to win an election.
This is a 50-50 state now. It is the difference between the parties is about 1,000 voters, and I think that you will see that Democrats do vote, and I think the last presidential campaign, you could see the Democratic turnout in Washoe County, especially what developed there. So it is, and Dina, the polls, 7th straight poll showing her leading and ahead, and is in striking distance of Gibson now, and the campaign with Gibbons hasn't even begun.
Okay. And remember President Howard Dean was way ahead in the polls before the first vote.
Way early.
Way early.
Now, before we went on air, we were debating if Senator Titus's Southern accent is going to be a drawback. Dick, what do you think about that?
I don't even I think it's a non-issue. I think it's something that people get a little bit caught up in. She's been in the state for 30 years. She still has a real heavy Southern accent. So be it. That's her bag. But I think it's a non-issue. Let's get on to the issues of the campaign as we start forming this campaign up and see what's going to happen.
I agree with Dick. I don't think that's an issue. I think it's what she says that'll be the issues, and that's appropriate.
Fred, do you have a
I hear it from my
opinion?
students all the time, a real curiosity of how someone who has been in Nevada for 30 years still sounds like she just came across the border from Georgia. To me, it's an odd thing, and God help us that it becomes a campaign issue. I'm not asking for that, but just commenting that as people pay attention, they don't go to substance, they go to the things that they notice, and they accent something.
Well, she is from Southern Nevada, so you got to cut her some slack.
And to suggest that her accent is contrived, I don't see anyone saying that about Bob Cashel and his accent. So
right,
there
he has
you go again.
he has a South Texas accent.
No one talks about his accent, but all of a sudden, because a woman is running, this
No, Marlene, we are talking about Bob Cashel's accent.
No one asks why he hasn't lost his accent.
Well, he's not running for governor.
He's the mayor of this state. It's never been an issue of this city.
As I said, I think during the early part of campaigns, it's about defining the candidate, defining the difference between your candidate. And style is one of the things, substance is one of the things, issues are among the things. All of those come together to create what the package is and how people will evaluate
And
them.
remember, it's not how she says it, but what she says.
It seems like what she says has gotten very vanilla since she's announced for governor. We got to cut it off right there. We'll be right back after this.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. For a quick bite and the best sandwiches in town, it's the Whistle Stop Deli. And for the best appetizers and menu selections and a large variety of cocktails, beers, and martinis, it's Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway.
So, who do you use for workers' comp?
Pro Group Management.
Ah, I've heard some good things about them.
Oh, you bet. Employee background checks, safety training, claim seminars. Oh, and here's the great part. If you have an issue, they work for you, not against you.
Sounds perfect. And expensive.
Well, that's the best part. They saved me 30%. I've heard they've saved others 50%.
Works for me. Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
Happy Hour at the Peppermill.
Thanks to an ongoing commitment by America's mining companies, more than 2 million acres already have been reclaimed. To learn more about reclamation or other aspects of mining, visit nma.org. The National Mining Association.
Tomorrow we got Carol Villardo, the tax guru. The devil's in the details. Thanks.